Good day, everyone. Welcome to Life Spring. Those of you that are just joining us for the first time, you're highly welcome. I'm so happy that you tuned into this channel. And for those of you that are old listeners and you've been following us back to back in every episode, I am so grateful. Thank you so much. Please keep listening and you will be blessed. Please do well to like our videos, share our videos, and subscribe to this channel so that you can get notifications on every new videos we post. With that being said, let's go into today's topic. On today's topic, we will be looking at From the Depth of My Soul, a Cry for Help. Psalm chapter 5, verse 2. Verse 2 says, Pay attention to my cry for help, my King and my God, because I pray only to you. Judges 6, 1-6. I'll read quickly. The people of Israel did what the Lord considered evil, so the Lord handed them over to the Midian for 7 years. Midian's power was too strong for Israel. The Israelites made hiding places in the mountains, caves, and mountain strongholds to protect themselves from the Midian. Verse 3. Whenever Israel planted crops, Midian, Amalek, and Kadem came and damaged the crops. Verse 4 says the enemy used to camp on the land and destroy the crops all the way to Gaza. They left nothing for Israel to live on, not one sheep, cow, or donkey. Verse 5, like swarms of locusts, they came with their livestock and their tents. They and their camels could not be counted. They came into the land only to ruin it. And lastly, verse 6 says, so the Israelites became very poor because of Midian and cried out to the Lord for help. Okay, before I do some more Bible readings, have you ever been so stranded, confused, and depressed in life that you didn't know what else to do again because you had tried every other thing you know to do and they all failed you? And at that point, the only thing that could come out of your mouth was a cry for help to God. Have you? If you have, then listen closely. Helplessness is real. I don't know if there are people that have not experienced this, but helplessness is real. It's a state of being where you can't control the circumstances around you anymore, and you are drowning in them all alone with no one coming to your aid, literally. You can liken helplessness or a helpless person to someone that is completely paralyzed. If you've seen a paralyzed person, the person is like someone that is alive but dead, more like a living soul in a dead body. He can't walk by himself. He needs someone to push him or carry him. He can't eat. He can't feed himself. He can't bathe himself. He can't write. He can't sit on his own. He literally can't do anything because he or she is helpless. So that is what helplessness actually look like when you are just completely out of reach of being able to, figure out what's happening around you, figure out, what's happening in your life. You just can't handle the issue at the moment, and it can be so frustrating. Helplessness has led a lot of people into committing suicide. It is that dangerous that we need to talk about it. So it's real. A lot of people are currently in that state, especially ladies. Now, this helplessness could be emotional, it could be physical, and it could be psychological. Now, let's look at some of the things that can make one helpless. The first I have here is trauma. What is trauma? Trauma is a disturbing experience that can have lasting effects on a person's emotional, psychological, or physical well-being. For example, abuse, maybe sexual abuse, maybe the person was raped, that could be trauma. The person can have trauma based on abuse. Another one is accident. Maybe you had a very fatal accident, and because of that experience, you keep, it keeps coming back, and you keep getting scared, you keep having dreams about it, and it really makes you helpless. And then another one could be kidnap. I've heard of stories of people that experience kidnap, and because of the whole thought of it and what they went through during the period of them being kidnapped, even after they were being saved, from that situation, it keeps the thought of it keeps coming back and putting them in a state of trauma. Another example of trauma that can make one helpless is the loss of a loved one. There are some persons that lost somebody that is really important to them, and they just cannot recover from it. Some even went mad because they lost someone. They literally went mad because they lost someone. And that is how helpless some people are. Whenever they lose someone very important in their life, it's like you've taken away the most important thing from them. And then another one is abandonment. These are examples of trauma. Maybe you were abandoned as a child. You were left in a motherless baby home. We've seen videos of babies being dumped in a waste dump. There was even one close to my house in a canal where a newborn baby was just thrown away like a trash. I can't even remember if the child was alive. I doubt. If that child was alive and that child would have grown by now, that it's very possible for that child, to be traumatized by, his childhood experience, knowing how, things went for him or her as a baby and then growing up. So these examples of trauma are some of what could make one helpless. And it will affect your relationship with people. It will affect your relationship in your workplace, in everything about you. Trauma actually affects literally everything. So you become so helpless that you don't even know what to do and how to get out of that situation. Number 2, adversity. Adversity. What is adversity? A difficult challenge that can test a person's resilience, strength, and character. And also something very hard to come out from, e.g., financial struggle is an adversity. Most of us are going through that. A lot of people out there are currently struggling with finance, and it is making people helpless these days. Career setback is an adversity. When all of a sudden things just get so bad at your workplace, your career, everything just goes bad and you don't even know where to start from. You don't know what to do. Relationship problems. Relationship problem is an adversity. Heartbreak can literally render you helpless. You will just be helpless. I don't even want to buttress on that. Health issues and adversity, it can make you helpless. There are some persons going through a lot of health challenges and they've even given up. Another example of adversity is sin or addiction. There's a way you'll be struggling with a particular sin or a particular addiction, and you have tried so many ways, to stop it. This particular addiction, this particular sin proves so stubborn, and it brings you to a state of helplessness. So that is another example. Then number 3 is dependence on others. Dependence on others is also one thing that can make someone helpless, in the sense that, when you put so much faith and trust in people, a time comes when those things begin to fail completely. All of them begins to shut down. They start ignoring you. It's like a young lady who just graduated from school, putting her hope in her uncle, and then hoping that because of his connection, he's her uncle, he'll get her a job, she won't have to struggle. And then the moment she comes out of school, she comes to the reality that she's all alone. Her uncle doesn't care about her. He had just been deceiving her that he will help her and all that. So depending on people can literally put you in a helpless state, in the sense that when those people leave, you tend to don't know what to do at that point. You just become hopeless and helpless, because all the while you've been depending on others. You've not been doing things. You're by yourself. You've not been seeking God, nothing. You are just depending on those people. And then lastly, being unsaved. In fact, this is the highest point of helplessness. Any man that is not saved, any man that has not received Jesus is helpless. Is totally helpless. You can't do anything for yourself. You can't save yourself. You can't. There's literally nothing you can do until you receive Jesus, because you are literally irrelevant. You are a walking dead. There is nothing about you. And the Bible said that God saw us in this state, and he was like, if he doesn't do something about it, human beings are doomed for life. And so the Bible said, John 3:16, that for God so loved the world, he sent his only begotten son to die for us, because God saw us in our helpless states. We couldn't have been able to save ourselves. No amount of the blood of goats and lamb and whatever could, save humanity and bring humanity back to its original position. And that was why Jesus had to come. So if you haven't received Jesus in your life, you are helpless, big time. Now, what is the word of hope? The good news is that no matter how helpless a person can be, no matter what the situation of helplessness could be, God can always help the person. That is the good news. God is capable, is willing, and can help you. He will make a way where there seems to be no way. That is God. In fact, the best prayer point you can pray in your helpless states is a prayer for help. A prayer for help is where you become very and completely vulnerable before God. You are not trying to speak English to God. You are not trying to be touched to God. You are not trying to sound like you have been holy and the most faithful. No. At that point, you are broken. You are presenting yourself before God as an unworthy person, and you're telling God, if you don't help me, I will just die. If you don't help me, I don't know where to go. If you don't help me, I don't know what will become of me. The same prayer that Jacob made. He said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. In other words, if you don't bless me, my own don't finish. My brother might kill me and my entire family. I don't know what to do anymore. That is the prayer of mercy, for mercy, the cry for mercy. Now let's look at how to cry for help. The first is that we must acknowledge that we have come to the end of ourselves, and all we know how to do and depend on has failed us. If you don't acknowledge it, it means that you're not even ready to seek the help of God. You have to first acknowledge that, Lord, at this point, I have literally come to the end of myself. I can't help myself. All the things I was putting my hope in, all the horses and the chariot, Lord, they have literally failed me. And now there is literally nothing else. I don't have any other plan. There is nothing. Lord, help me. That is the first step in crying for help to God. Number 2 is to ask the Lord to forgive you for your arrogance that made you think you could go through that situation on your own. It is arrogance that makes us not to involve God in situations. There are people that they are like they know how to solve their own problems. They don't even know like depending on people. They are their own problem solvers, and God will just be sitting down and looking at them. Okay, let's watch how you go through this thing and this thing and this thing. And then you find out that at the end of the day, you find yourself in a situation where you literally can't help yourself and you need divine intervention. So it is arrogance. It is arrogance. You need to acknowledge your arrogance and ask the Lord for forgiveness for being arrogant. You are not all-knowing. You can't be doing ITK with God. You can't be acting smart with God. You have to humble yourself. So you have to ask the Lord for forgiveness for being arrogant and then tell Him to help you. The last step on how to cry for help is cry for the mercy of God. Cry for the mercy of God. Let's look at Hebrews chapter 4 verse 16. It says, "So we can go confidently to the throne of God's kindness to receive mercy and find kindness which will help us at the right time." NIV says, "Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need." Psalm 86 verse 15 says, "But you, O Lord, are a compassionate and merciful God. You are patient, always faithful, and ready to forgive." Now, what is the mercy of God? What's God's mercy? God's mercy is His loving kindness, His compassion and benevolence towards humanity in time of need, suffering, or sin. When you cry for the help of God, it's a time to cry for His mercy. It's a time to appeal to His mercy side. It's a time to tell Him, "Lord, I know I am a sinner. I know I am unworthy. I know I don't even deserve anything from you at this point. I know I'm not the most faithful. I know I've not been the best of your children. But Lord, help me. Show me your mercy. Show me your mercy." It's a time to cry literally for the mercy of God. It was the mercy of God that saved humanity. If not, we would have been doomed like Lucifer for life. But God showed us mercy. The Bible said it is by the mercy of God that we are not consumed. It's a time to cry to God, from the depth of your heart for His mercy. Even if all you can say is, "Father, have mercy on me." Remember those persons in scripture that when they heard of Jesus passing, they didn't even know what to say. And all that could just come out of their mouth was, "Oh, Son of David, have mercy on me." And because of that word, Jesus will just turn. No matter where He's going to, He will stop, pay attention to them, and show them the mercy that they requested for. There was a time in my life where I was really helpless, I was going through serious trauma. I really went through trauma, depression. It was terrible. It affected me psychologically, physically. I was not even so active at work, because it was affecting me emotionally, psychologically, and all that. So I came to the end of myself, literally that point. And I was so helpless to the point where I couldn't even pray. Like, words of prayer couldn't even come out of my mouth. And the only thing that I could say those days were, Lord, help me. I prayed that prayer, those words, those 3-letter words, Lord, help me, every day in tears. I would cry and sulk and cry and sob and cry. And I would ask for the help of God and then ask for the mercy of God. I did not know what else to ask for because I felt I wasn't even deserving to ask for anything. And all I could say was, Lord, have mercy on me, help me. And during those days, God started helping me out of nowhere. He started, speaking to me. He started revealing things to me that was spiritually blank and all that. It was as if that aspect of me had just, it was deleted out of my body. But somehow the mercy of God spoke for me, and He started helping me and reviving me again. It was a gradual process. It didn't just happen instantly. But I had to walk with God gradually, and He brought me to the point where I am today. And every time I feel really helpless, I always ask for the help of God. Even I don't need to always wait, till I'm helpless. I have built the attitude of always seeking for the help of God in everything I do. The Bible said, do not depend on your own knowledge. Think about God in all that you do, and He will help you. So don't always wait until the situation is so bad before you ask for the help of God. Always involve God in every single thing you do. Always ask for His help. Always ask for His mercy, and He will surely answer you. Whatever it is you're going through, as a lady, maybe life has, been so unfair to you. You've been going through a lot of emotional trauma. Your family members are, saying all sorts of things at you. Everyone is maltreating you, blah, blah, blah. Whatever the situation of helplessness you are, even if it's your health issue, I want you to follow the steps that I've given on how to ask for the help of God. See, the mercy of God for me is very big. God is so merciful. There is no how you will cry for His mercy that He will not come true for you. I'm telling you, if it's a lie, then it means that we have been lied to all this while. But try it and see, and you will see the goodness of God in your life. My message recommendation today is A Cry That Brings Help from God, Apostle Joshua Selman. As it's written on your screen, please just type it on Google Chrome or YouTube. You see it pop out. Listen to it, download it, listen to it. A Cry That Brings Help from God, Apostle Joshua Selman. And then the second message is How to Access Help from God by Pastor Jerry Eze. Also on YouTube, or you just type it on Google Chrome, it will pop out. It's still on YouTube. I hope you were blessed by today's topic, today's episode. I really hope you were blessed. Please do well to like and share our video, and also subscribe to this channel so that you can get notification on every new videos we post. Until next time, I remain your humble host. Praise the Lord. Bye-bye.